And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. And the thing about Eric Bledsoe, he's an absolutely terrific athlete, insane athletic ability, his speed with the ball, especially Greg in the open court, remarkable.
Yeah, and when he gets a full head of steam, look out. He goes beast mode, if you will, on the basketball floor. He really, truly is like a running back in the open field.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago.
Talking about Bledsoe, one area where he has to improve his turnovers. He averaged over 3.5 turnovers a game. You can't be a championship point guard if you're not squeezing the orange.
Dunleavy, who's checked in for Chicago. Rose comes in for Aaron Brooks. Chicago leading.
And thinking a little bit more about Eric Bledsoe, yes, he could be more efficient, but his combination of points, assists, and rebounds per game is outstanding. If he focuses in and listens to his coaches, we could be talking about him in the upper echelon of point guard.
Knight into the lane. And his third shot of the night, no good, 0 for 3. The 19-foot shot, can't get it to go. And Phoenix the other way now. Dishes it to Warren. Back to Knight from past the arc. But they'll get another chance. Warren, good.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
Passes it to Portis. Releases. That's short off the rim.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
And stolen by Butler. Got a piece of it. And again, Chicago running the court in transition. Rips down the breakaway slam.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
Got a piece of it. Down low. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Len.
And you know what? Just a little too much heat on that pass for him to come up with the steal.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that was going to be a tough catch for either one of them.
So for the Bulls, Joakim Noah is checked in for Gasol. And Taj Gibson is subbed in for Portis. And for the Suns, Lure comes in for Alex Len. And it's P.J. Tucker in for T.J. Warren. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Rose. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. And that's now 6 points for Derrick Rose. Suns trail by 6.
You know, guys, one of the things that is always going to keep you competitive against the West is a good defense. It's one reason why the Bulls tend to be a tougher matchup for teams from the West, because they do D up.
Chandler's shot, good.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
And he gets the bucket. That's now 8 points for Eric Bledsoe. Bulls had a good year against the West last season. 17 up, 13 down against the Western Conference.
Yeah, and how about playing 500 or better against every division in the Western Conference? So impressive to think they did so well given how many games some of their starting players missed.
Mirotic is checked in for Chicago. E'Twaun Moore comes in for Butler. And Phoenix also making a switch. Booker's checked in. So for the Suns, Mirza Teletovic comes in for Chandler. And it's Price in for Knight. And Gibson kicks to Rose. Back to Gibson. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. The 8-footer. Rose, no good. The Suns trailing. Feeds to Tucker. Shot from the wing. Rose with the rebound.
Boy, that's a warm-up jumper there. I mean, when you're a pro, you can... Some hang time on that rim puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
And also the other on its heels. Let's see how this one turns out.
And that replay sponsored by Kia, the Kia Slam Cam, giving us a great look at that one. Here's Tucker, and he gets that one to go off the front iron. Tucker's got 5. Noah kicks to Gibson. Rebound by the Suns.
Well, what appeared to be an easy 2 points just never materialized.
They set the pick to the paint. Here's Booker. That's in, coming off an assist from Price. Booker's got the game tied up here for the Suns.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
It's becoming a theme in this game, Clark. They are piling up the points in the paint.
And that one's good by Noah.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Here's Tucker. And the go-ahead bucket, no good.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
Shot's good by Gibson. Here is Price. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Pass to Tucker. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
That's the way to work the ball in close to the hoop, guys.
Here's Noah. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And so it's a close game as we wrap up the first half of basketball. It's Chicago leading by just 2. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. I'm here with Derek. And Derek, what are the most important things you've done defensively tonight to help your offensive approach?
Contesting their shots. They're a great three-point shooting team. We're just contesting and getting out and run. That's our favorite thing to do. Get out, run. We got big second runs, shooters on the floor, so open the floor up a little bit.
Derek, always explosive in transition. Thank you. Kevin?
Thank you, Doris. And folks, don't go away after the break. We'll see you right back here for the start of the second half in the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. It was a closely contested first quarter for Chicago. The game was always within a fairly narrow margin, with their largest deficit of the period being 6. They came out in the second quarter with a renewed focus, playing well enough to take a 2-point lead here at the half. And Kenny, what did you think? And that's it for halftime, as the second half is just a...
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. We are seeing a tremendous game from Jimmy Butler.
Always been a dynamic scorer, and we saw in that first half the entire repertoire on display.
Yeah, he's a hard man to keep down, and so far they haven't found the answer for him. I don't know if there is an answer for him, quite honestly.
And Phoenix looking who they've got on the floor. Bledsoe and Knight of the backcourt. Warren is out there with Booker, and it's Len in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And Dunleavy gets it to go in.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
A nice shot by Knight.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Phoenix looked to be on the verge of making it back into the playoffs last season. Ultimately, though, Greg, they faltered in the second half of the year.
Yeah, it was a 3-team race. And after coming up short in 14, the Suns had the edge early. As you said, Kevin, they simply couldn't keep things going in the second half of the season.
You know, guys, the Suns went from the 8th seed to finishing 10th in the West. I mean, it would have been a tough task for them to stay in the race. particularly after all the trades. I mean, their team was in transition.
He's perfect from the line this time.
And when you shake up a roster, as the Suns did last year, it's hard to keep pace. They ended 6 games back of that final playoff spot, but that all happened after they decided to shake things up.
No good from Bledsoe.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Derrick Rose, unbelievable spirit. We know about his toughness, has fought through injuries of all kinds that might cause a lesser competitor to hang up his sneakers.
And competitor, that's the word, Kevin. I mean, he was impossible to outcompete at the high school level, the college level, and now in the pros.
And the Bulls making a change here. McDermott's checked in. Both good from the line that time.
And, you know, back to D. Rose for a moment. He drives the lane now as hard as he did before the injuries. It's a level of fearlessness that only a few guys possess. And it's not teachable. You either have it or you don't.
Bulls have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. Butler dishes to Rose. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Lets it go from the wing. Good on the jump shot. Dunleavy's got 4 this quarter.
And, you know, back to D. Rose, he grew up in a brutally dangerous neighborhood on Chicago's south side. Some of that fearlessness, that competitiveness he exhibits was learned early on out of necessity.
And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Portis, he's checked in for Dunleavy. And Brooks subbed in for Rose. Justin Holiday's checked in for Butler.
Justin Holiday.
Bledsoe against Brooks. And there's the feed to Len for the lead. And a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in. Bledsoe's got his 4th assist in this one. McDermott with it. Now defended by Warren. Chandler with the steal. And oh, here we go. Warren's got it. The fast break chance. Out tonight. Second chance shot. That one goes. Count it. Knight's got 6 here in this quarter.
There's been some slippage defensively here in the second half, Kevin. I mean, I'm not sure if their legs are going or what, but they've given up some easy baskets here.
Chandler with the screen on Gasol. Knight kicks to Chandler. There's the pass to Len. Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
All right, Brandon Knight certainly can pass the orange.
Bulls trail by 5. They need this, and it's McDermott laying it in.
Some big points there. I mean, they got him on a nice play to get the ball right to the bucket.
And exactly what they're looking for down the stretch, Clark. Just more of the same. And injuries, once again, were a central theme of the Bulls' season last year. Losing Rose was one thing, but then having Jimmy Butler lose a lot of time put them in such a tough spot.
Shoots from the baseline, and that one's good. McDermott's got his 2nd bucket of the night.
He's got to be a little embarrassed for joining the Paratroopers Club on that pump fake.
Timeout called, the Suns. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Noah comes in for Pau Gasol. And Mirotic subbed in for Portis. And for the Suns, Mirza Teletovic is checked in for Alex Len. P.J. Tucker comes in for T.J. Warren. And Ronnie Price has subbed in for Eric Bledsoe. Outside Holiday. Phoenix grabs the miss.
The right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
And here's Price.